Welcome to Yin Yoga, and today we're just going to work on the legs. These limbs here start at the feet right up into the hips. Maybe you might want to have a strap handy, blocks. I've got a couple of cushions. I don't have my blocks today. I have a towel. And we'll start today in butterfly pose. So come into your seated position where you're taking the strain off the low back. Now to take the strain off the low back, it's best to elevate the hips and sit slightly forward on your prop, whether it's a blanket, block, cushion, bolster, and bring the soles of the feet together. Depending on the tightness in the hip flexors, the knees might be up quite high, or they might be, some people will be down on the ground. One thing that you can do here is simply prop up the legs to take pressure off any discomfort in the inner thighs, the groin. And then take the hands and use the thumb and the fingers just to massage out the arches of the feet and the top of the feet. Maybe squeeze around the ankles and the Achilles. And then if it's possible, give each of the toes a nice big squeeze, so the feet feel well attended. Sometimes pulling the digits back is a nice experience for the feet. So when the feet feel well attended, well grounded, come to stillness, keeping the knees extended. If you're using props under the thighs, you can slowly move the props further outwards towards the knees as the thighs relax. That's the beauty of the props under the thighs. They give you a gradual opening of the hips. Bring the shoulders back so you're sitting up tall. And imagine you're a hollow tube that's filling with air on each inhale. And relax the shoulders back and down as you exhale. So there's a sense that each breath is encouraging a deepening into the posture. Breath fills up the shell. Exhale, relaxing the shoulders, and you sit up tall. Exhale, start to slightly hinge forward and round the back, bringing the head down towards the feet. If you have something to support the head here, like blocks or a bolster, you can support the head. melodious tune of the Australian birds in the background. See if you can melt and let go into your prop if you're using a support or just letting the head hang. Notice what it's like to breathe in the forward fold like this. See if you can bring the breath back to a gentle, rhythmic, slow rhythm. And then start to slowly straighten the arms. Let the arms lift the weight of the body back up. And extend the left leg. Extend the left leg out in an angle rather than straight on, and grab a strap. Adjust your seat if you need to. And if you have really tight hamstrings, I'm going to recommend you bring a cushion underneath the knee, so the knee is supported. My hamstrings are okay, but I'm going to demonstrate with the cushion underneath so you get the idea. Strap up that left foot. And we're going to floss the foot. Use the strap to give the foot a firm toweling, stimulating the bottom of the foot, the fascia. And then position the strap so that it's about where the arch and the ball of the foot meet, not too low, not too high. And then drive out through the heel bone, which means the toes are going to curl back and the whole back of the leg is going to start to stretch. Now there's a tendency here for people to want to hinge too far forward. You find yourself jutting your chin towards your feet. See if you can keep the spine long rather than rounding. If you find the belly area gets a little bulgy around the thigh, you can scoop the belly to the center and hinge a little further forward. Start to reach the right hand a little closer so there's a sense of stretch in that right low back area. Now the more you bend the knee here, the more you have the knee propped up, the more you'll feel this in the low back. And the less, if you move the prop out of the way, you're going to feel it more in the thigh and the leg. Too much for you to breathe here, back off a little bit. Slowly come back. Be careful with the low back if there's any intensity there. I'm going to add a little twist to this, keeping that left leg extended. Take the strap into the right hand and just lift it up as if you're looking underneath your elbow. And then lower it down. So you do that a few times. You just get that feeling of what it's like to lift the elbow and look under the elbow, holding the strap with the right hand, noticing how that feels in the low back. Obviously, the shorter the strap, the more awkward that's going to feel. And for some of you, I want you to invite the left hand to reach over and grab the kneecap or the thigh on that right side, and then do your twist. So this is really hitting the whole back, shoulder blades, while the thigh is stretching out. It's going to go deep into the deep low twisting muscles of the back. Some of you might be able to start to work the right hand gobbling up the strap, so the right hand brings you closer towards the foot as it works its way down the strap. Very carefully come out of this shape, always taking your time. Take several breaths here to let your body return to its normal shape. And in your own time, switch legs. I'm starting to warm up quickly here as the sun rises. As you extend through that right leg, grab the strap and floss the foot. Drive through the ankle. Once again, consider if you want to use the support under the knee. For people who've never been very good at forward folds, when that knee is bent and supported, you can get a real feel for the forward fold. It's a great way to come into the forward folds, and over time you reduce the height of the support under the knee. Position the strap where the arch meets the ball and start to hinge forward. Start to use the left hand this time to reach a little closer to the foot, so you get that slight twist deep down in the left low back this time. Keep keep the chin away from the chest, so there's a sense of keeping the spine long rather than rounding it. Sometimes there's this, what I would consider a misconception, that the forward fold is about getting the head down onto the floor, onto the leg. Just let the upper body be nice and relaxed here. This is all about the leg, the hip. The low back. If you can maintain a good steady breath here, you might consider dropping the chin towards the chest now and rounding the back. Unless you have issues with the spine where rounding the back is not advised. And as the hamstring releases, you start to feel the low back have the opportunity to let go. Nice juxtaposition here with the barking dog and the bird. Remember, you can support the head if you wish. Carefully come back up and take the strap into the left hand. And with the left hand, start to look under the left elbow, looking up towards the sky, and bring it down a few times. Just getting used to that action, creating a twist, extending the lateral side of the rib cage, which is making space for the lungs. And at least for now, the right hand is in the same direction as the right leg. And for those who want to, you can reach over with that right hand, grab something like the thigh or clothing, so that as you twist, you really feel a whole different sense in the twist. The right arm anchoring this time. So you feel much more restriction. You can continue to pulsate the elbow lifts, or you can hold and sustain and start to work the left hand down the strap. Keep the toes of the right foot back so the back of that right leg continues its stretch. One of the great metaphors for a busy mind is the barking dog. So the Zen masters would say that the dog barked and barked and barked, and that was a metaphor for the busy mind. And if you've been feeling any restriction in the ribs, this is definitely going to start to open up the ribs, create space for the lungs. Whew. And come up slowly when you're ready and release the strap. And I like to smile after a more intense stretch. Smile and breathe. And then make your way down onto your back. Bring the knees together, feet flat on the floor. Let's keep the strap and the bolsters handy for now. Come into TP pose. Knees together, feet apart. Feet apart, but the feet flat on the mat. As in the bottom of the foot is feeling grounded. My toes are pigeon-toed here to make that happen. As you exhale, gently draw the navel down into the belly like you're bracing the belly. Squeeze the butt to help brace. And feel how that stretches out the low back after that work we just did. Reach both hands over the head, stay in teepee pose. Interlace the fingers and reverse the palms. Reverse the palms, and as you reverse the palms, arch the back, and push the palms away. Bring the hands back and grab the right knee and squeeze the right knee in towards the rib cage. And cross the right ankle over the left knee. Figure 4. Rotate the right foot. Rotate the right foot in the opposite direction. Now, if you have a bolster or cushion handy, you can use a block here as well. I'm going to use a cushion. Push down with the left foot, lift the hips into the air and bring the bolster underneath you. And settle the hips back down into your bolster. And then pick up your figure 4 and hold the figure 4 in towards the rib cage. So the left foot is floating, left knee is pushing the right ankle, and the arms are helping squeeze that figure 4 in towards the ribs. You might like a strap handy here. because we're going to take the right hand through the figure 4 and grip hold of the left hand around the shin. Interlace your fingers around the shin. And if you cannot reach, grab your strap. Place the strap around the shin and grab the hands as close to the shin as you can so that you can lay your head back down and feel the shoulders come away from the ears. So the length of your arm reach in this shape pulls the arm straight. If the back of your head needs more support, support the head with a block, towel or blanket. We're going to do a very onionish thing here. We're going to do little crunches. So take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift the head up, crunch the belly. And we're going to squeeze the figure 4 in towards you. And then slowly come back down to the mat. Keep hold of the figure 4. Let's try that again. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift the head, bring the nose towards the right foot, pull on the arms, bend the arms, squeeze, and then slowly come back down. We'll do one more of those. Inhale, exhale, lift and crunch, squeeze. Inhale, come back. Change the grip of the hand to grab the back of the hamstring. Left foot extends to the sky. Heel to heaven, toes curled back, point and flex that foot, that left foot. The next time the toes curled back, hold, heel to heaven, hold. Bend the knee, dangle the shin, let go of the hamstring, keep the figure 4, left foot to the ground, push down, lift the hips and remove the bolster. The right hand is going to push the right thigh away, left hand is going to reach overhead. Open up that left rib cage as you push that right leg out of the hip. Unclog the pelvis. Bring the hand back, that left hand back. Bring both hands beside the hip. Push down with the left foot. Lift the hips. Lift the hips off the ground on one foot. Turn the hips onto their left side. Roll onto the left hip so that the right foot is grounded. Right knee is still up in the figure 4. And we're going to switch hands. The left hand is going to push the right thigh away. Right hand is going to reach overhead. And if it's available to you, turn the head to the right. Slowly hinge from that shape. Take the pressure off, uncross the legs. Extend the left leg out and bring the right foot against the left thigh into tree pose on the back. As that right thigh starts to settle into tree pose, when you're ready, you can straighten the right leg out. Just notice the contrast between the right and left legs now, after all that work. Let's try the other side. Figure 4, left ankle over right knee. Rotate the left foot. Rotate the other way. And then push the left thigh away. Right hand reaches overhead. Slowly release the pressure on the legs as you pick up the figure 4 and hold the figure 4 towards you. Drop the right foot back to the ground. Grab your bolster or cushion. Lift the hips and bring the bolster underneath the hips once again. Pick up the figure 4. And we'll do some pulsations here. Deep breath in, exhale, lift the head and bring the head towards the ankle. Lower back down. Keep the figure 4 in the air the whole time. Exhale, crunch again. One more crunch. Hold the crunch. And see if you can bring the entwined fingers around the shin or hold the strap around the shin such that you can lay the head back down. You can relax the shoulders, but the arms remain straight. So there's a release of tension in these shoulders as well. Squeeze if you like, and just feel that extra pressure on the thigh. Relax, relax and squeeze. Exhale, lift the head and squeeze. Try to bring the nose towards the ankle. Lower down. Crunch again. 2. One more. Now this time, change the grip to the hamstring, heel to heaven. Lay the head back down. Use a strap if needed. Point and flex the right foot. Curl the toes back and hold this hamstring figure 4 stretch. Can you curl those toes back more? Dangle the shin, release the hamstring, keep the figure 4, lift the hips and remove the prop. Left hand pushes the left thigh away, right hand reaches overhead. Open up that rib cage by reaching and breathing deeply. Use the breath to open the ribs here. Arch the back a little more. Reach a little more. Keep the breathing consistent. And relax the reach. Push down with the right foot. Lift the hips and roll onto the right hip, grounding down the left foot. Feel that lumbar twist. You can always stand the left foot on a cushion or something if it doesn't quite reach the ground. Right hand's going to push against the left thigh now. Left hand's going to reach over the head. We're opening the opposite rib cage in the twist. Explore with your breath here. How deeply can you breathe without pain, without creating a sharp intensity at the back or the bosses? Always being careful when you explore the breath in this way. See if you can turn the head to the left. Head back to neutral. Release the push and stretch. Come onto your back into tree pose. Right leg extended, left foot against. That right leg. When that left leg settles into tree, you can extend and come into Shavasana. Or any variation of lying on your back that feels right. Bend the knees, roll to one side. Come onto your belly. You might want to be facing the end of the mat where you can keep an eye on the monitor. Start with Charlie Chaplin feet and crocodile pose. Stack the hands under the forehead. Try to widen the feet a little more if it's available to you. For those who can, prop yourself up onto your elbows. Make sure the elbows are underneath the shoulders so the hands should be able to reach across to the upper arms. Drop the palms in front of you, palms down. Roll the shoulders down and back. You can stay in Sphinx pose, or for those who want to go into a little deeper hip opening and low back bend, you can walk your hands out to the edges of the mat and straighten the arms into seal pose. So try to choose the pose that's right for you today. Always having the option to come back to crocodile at any time. If you're in seal, come back to Sphinx and bring the left knee out to the side into half frog. So you want the left knee 90 degrees out from the hip, left knee 90 degrees, left ankle 90 degrees if you can. And then bring the side of the head onto the mat, hands out to the side. Into that crime scene pose. For a little shoulder work here, you can bring both hands behind your back into handcuff position. Let the right hand cuff the left wrist. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed here. See if you can point the toes of the right foot so the toenails are on the mat. Release the cuffs, stack the hands under the forehead. And roll the forehead from temple to temple slowly. Bring that left knee back. And we'll change sides. Right knee out. Come into goalpost arms. And when you're ready, come into handcuff position. Try to keep those toes of the left foot pointed. Release the cuffs. Stack the hands under the forehead. And roll from temple to temple. Return the right knee to the mat. Become aware of your legs. And decide if you want to stay on the belly here. Come into belly Shavasana, belly down. Or if you want to roll onto your back or side. Play around with the Shavasana that feels right for you. Consider having support under the thighs, bolster. If you're on your belly, consider turning the head one side or the other. Use your awareness to seek out any residue tension held in the shoulders or neck, back or legs, hips. Perhaps with the inquiry, is that tension ready to go? Am I ready to let it go? And notice what that part of the body does in response. Does it soften or tighten? And just trust the response you get. Notice your breathing. Invite the breath to be soft, relaxed. Slow. And notice what your breath does, how it responds. And then consider how you wish to finish the class, perhaps seated, perhaps laying down. And take the next 5 to 10 breaths to find that finish. Once again, just trusting the position you've chosen to finish. Just bring your hands together in gratitude for our practice today. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.